Hello, dear friends, and welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me today. This story is for everyone, children, teens, and adults alike. It's a tale about abundance, not of riches or treasures, but of kindness, love, and the simple joys that make life truly full. So, get cozy, maybe with a blanket or a warm cup of tea, and let's begin. Our story starts in a cheerful village, surrounded by rolling green hills and wide meadows dotted with wildflowers. A river flows nearby, glistening under the sun, and orchards stretch along its banks with apples, pears, and cherries that shine like little jewels. The cottages here are warm and welcoming, their gardens overflowing with vegetables, herbs, and bright blooms. Everywhere you look, life feels plentiful. In one of these cottages lives Mira, a gentle woman with kind eyes and a smile that always carries warmth. She tends a small garden that seems to grow more than she could ever need. Rows of tomatoes, baskets of beans, and vines heavy with grapes. Though her home is simple, there is always bread baking in her oven, fresh flowers on her table, and a cat named Clover curled happily in the sunlit windowsill. Yet, sometimes Mira wonders if she does enough. She sees others in the village with big families or bustling shops, and she feels her life might be too quiet. What she doesn't see is that her kindness has already spread farther than she knows. And soon, the little village will remind her of the abundance she carries in her heart. One bright summer morning, Mira filled a basket with vegetables from her garden: plump carrots, crisp cucumbers, and a loaf of fresh bread she had baked before sunrise. She carried it through the cobblestone streets, planning to share it with an elderly neighbor. Along the way, she passed the village square, where children were playing tag and laughter filled the air like music. The children noticed her basket and ran over, wide-eyed. Mira laughed softly and offered them slices of cucumber and bread. Their faces lit up with delight, and they hurried off, munching happily. That small moment made Mira's heart flutter, such simple things bringing so much joy. Later, at her neighbor's cottage, Mira placed the basket on the table. The old woman's eyes shone with gratitude as she said, "You always bring more than food, Mira. You bring comfort." As Mira walked back home, she passed through the orchard. A breeze rustled the branches, carrying the sweet scent of ripening apples. She thought of how the earth gives so freely: fruit on the trees, flowers in the fields, water in the river, and realized abundance wasn't only in what we have, but in what we share. That evening, as Clover purred on her lap, Mira wrote in her journal, "Abundance is not measured by size or number, but by the joy we bring into the world." For the first time in a while, her heart felt light and full. The next week, Mira decided to host a small gathering in her garden. She baked loaves of bread, prepared stews from her vegetables, and set out bowls of cherries and grapes. Neighbors arrived carrying their own gifts: jars of honey, fresh cheese, baskets of apples. Soon, the little garden was filled with laughter, the clinking of cups, and the scent of herbs carried on the breeze. Children played among the sunflowers, chickens clucked softly by the fence, and fireflies began to glow as twilight settled over the hills. Mira looked around, her heart swelling. The abundance wasn't just in the food on the table, but in the togetherness, in the kindness passed from hand to hand, in the smiles that lit up every face. Her grandmother's words echoed in her memory: "True abundance is not in keeping, but in giving." And now she understood. Her quiet life was not lacking, it was overflowing. Every loaf of bread she baked, every vegetable she grew, every moment of care she shared, was part of a much larger circle of giving and receiving. As the stars began to appear, Mira whispered to herself, "This is abundance." She smiled, knowing she already had more than enough. And so, dear friends, our story comes to a close. Thank you for joining me in Mira's garden tonight. If this tale brought you peace, I invite you to like, subscribe, and return for more cozy stories. Until next time, may your days be filled with abundance in kindness, in love, and in the simple joys of life.